Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Daelan Cheh from the Clean Daily Herald. I'm here today with two women representing the Dominion Mandate Global Church in downtown Killeen off 8th Street. Today I have the Apostle Janice Watts and Director of Outreach and Evangelist, Tiara Joseph. How y'all doing today?
We're doing good.
Doing great, doing great.
Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah, so my name is Janice Watts. I am a mother of two, and I'm married. I've been married for 22 years. I've served in the United States military here in Fort Hood, Texas. And yeah, we just love serving people and taking care of the community. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So our backgrounds kind of, they match up a little bit. So I'm a mom as well. I retired from the Army after 21 years, so I just love the area, and I decided to stay here in this area. Mom of three, and just love what I do in outreach in the community.
Absolutely. What brought you over to the Dominion Mandate?
Well, what brought me is, well, this is kind of a short story. I'll make it short. But a friend invited me out, and normally this was a time that I would not be into church, right? To be honest with you, I was into a lot of other things. And when she invited me, I was just like, okay, I'll go just because you invited me. But that night changed my life, man. I went up for prayer at the end, and I received prayer, prophecy, and as the months passed, my life began to change. The prophecy began to unfold, and things just started shifting in my life. And so I was addicted to sex, addicted to drugs, and just a lot of things going on in my life. And as those months passed by being in Dominion, I just really got a chance to allow the Lord to clean me up, to heal me, and just deliver me from all of the darkness that I was involved in. So that's what led me there, and what made me stay is just that I felt the presence of the Lord every time I went in the room, went into the building, and just seeing my life transform before me. It was a clear sign that this is where I needed to be.
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So for myself, Dominion was birthed out of a word from the Lord. And initially, I had no idea what it would look like. And I just began to move on what God spoke. Little by little, we started off with literally just prayer and just worshiping God. And we did that consistently together, just a small group of us. And out of that was birthed Dominion Mandate Global Hub. And we were established here in the city. This is where God planted us for this season. And so this is how we were formed, through prayer and through worship and a word from the Lord.
Yes, ma'am. Beautiful, beautiful. What I brought you here today is y'all have a wonderful outreach program, one of being Kingdom Mayhem, which is where I met y'all, which is a monthly event that y'all do, and y'all help out people who are in need, who may be food insecure or may be unhoused. So tell me, what brought upon that idea?
Oh, wow. So just to give a little backstory, I was already doing it prior to Dominion Mandate Global Hub until birthing the vision fully. I was doing it out the back of my Equinox. I used to roll my Equinox downtown and serve food and give out gloves and hats, and then a few people started coming, and we just all would be out there, every Friday, just taking care of the community. So that's where it initially started. And so then once we started the hub, then I passed it on, like, okay, come on, guys. This was something that I was doing, and then a group happened, but now I'm like, now it's everybody to involve the whole house. And then people just started running with it, Evangelist Tiara, when she came into ministry, of course, God had her sitting for a time healing and things, but once that season was over, literally, the Lord put a fire behind her to just take the vision, and it's literally went to another level. And so it's just expanded. So Kingdom Mayhem, when we started that, it was it's kind of interesting, Lord, that weekend I remember hearing do a divine disruption. And so that weekend, it was supposed to be just a weekend, 3-day weekend, turned into a whole year of us serving the community, giving out clothes and household goods. So yeah.
And tell me, what inspired the name Kingdom Mayhem and the theme of it?
Yes. So the name Mayhem. So people, Tiara told me, she said, people say, why did you name it Mayhem? But mayhem, the definition is not just chaos, it's disruption. And so a lot of times we go about our normal day and we pass people all the time that are in need, and it was a disruption from our normal. And that's where the name came from. A disruption for the normal of passing people by, of seeing people's needs and pretending like they don't matter. And so that's where the name came from.
And does that come from the fact that your church is located right in downtown Killeen, where there's a big load of people who are unhoused and in need of service?
Well, I believe it plays a part, but it doesn't originate from that place, because even where I live at in Heights, I see people that have needs, and so, but we are there, and I believe that this is a location that God has placed in our hands to be able to help people, and so because of that, we're going to do it, we're going to take care of the people.
Absolutely. And for people who've never seen Kingdom Mayhem in action, for those who walk in, what should they expect?
I'll let you answer that.
Okay. Walking in, they should expect to see smiling faces. First of all, they're going to feel the warmth when they walk in, just to know that they are welcomed, right? They are seen and their voices have been heard of the things that they need in the community, overall. But when they walk in, they will see racks. It'll look like a thrift store, or like a consignment shop. So they see shoes, they see clothes, food items, hot and non-perishable items that they can take home with them, and a meal that they can eat right there in the place, as well as a table where they can sit down and eat. There are toys and things for the kids, and even a section over there where you can receive prayer and healing and deliverance, because this isn't about only materialistic things, right? This is about them changing spiritually or getting what they need spiritually, So a lot of people have received prayers, healing in their body, and deliverances too. So it's growing every time. Something new is added every time, and it grows more and more. And so people can just come there expecting to receive, yes, physical things, but also spiritual things that they need.
Yes, ma'am. And one thing, when I've walked in, I've seen, you're talking about the clothes, and then you're talking about the food that's provided. I want to talk about the audience as well. When the audience comes in, what's the main demographic that you see? Because I see a lot of people who are over 50, veterans, sometimes active military, and then you have people who are under the age of 15. Well, families come in. So what's the target audience when you usually host these events?
The target is not specific to a certain demographic, honestly. We're there for everyone, and no one has to meet a certain criteria. There's no requirement. Sometimes when people go to the food bank, they have to have a military ID or this kind of requirement that needs to be met, but certain income or something like that. But that's not the case with us. So whomever it is, we're not questioning whether their family is going through hardship or not. We're just opening doors, so they can receive regardless. And we see many people, so all races, all ages, as you've seen. So there are kids there, people bring their children in there, which is a beautiful thing, because the kids get to go around and pick out what they like too. The parents aren't the only ones just shopping for the kids. They can come because of some teens, like you said, and elderly. So you'll also see that people are helping the elderly take their bags out to the car, so it's a community event, and I love it so much.
And you're talking about that. And outside of Kingdom Mayhem, y'all even do more outreach. And a couple of weeks ago, y'all had an event where y'all had a generous amount of donations come in, and y'all decided to do a giveaway. And this included even people who were in shelters, volunteering to help out. Y'all are doing donations in cities as far as Belton and Temple as well, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And that went on for quite some time. And I remember seeing that big line outside. So tell me, when it comes to that outreach and getting those generous donations, do y'all plan to expand further?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to answer?
Sure. Okay. Absolutely. We're actually getting ready to expand in San Antonio. We have a leader there. We have a Dominion Mandate Global Prayer Hub that's being birthed in San Antonio. And so they're going to begin to as well do the outreach far as being able to get people clothes, food, make sure that their basic needs are met as well. And so what we do here, it's not just for, again, downtown, it's literally for the Central Texas region, So if there's a need, people call, we deliver, we've been delivering, dropping things off on people's porches like Secret Santas, but we want to make sure that people are taken care of. Not everyone has a car. Not everyone has a means to Uber and all those different things. And so we have the means, so we have been, making sure if they reach out, we're going to try our best to make sure that we can meet the need.
Yes, ma'am. And with the great service that y'all have, do y'all plan on partnering up with other services that are helping out people like mental health or VA people who can help out veterans?
Yes,
Veteran service
absolutely.
groups?
So coming soon in 2026, on our Mayhem Days, we're going to have vendors come in. So mental health services, different things like that. Friends that we have that have partnered with us ministry-wise that we'll be able to recommend them to help them get the resources that they need, for mental health and things like that. So yes, definitely in the future. Even now, we're partnered with God Chasers Ministries out of Houston, Texas. So they are the ones that provide a lot of the food and the things that we bring in to the region. And so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
The barbers that we have.
Yes. Yeah, I'll let you talk
Okay.
about that.
And so in addition to the other vendors, then we have barbers that are coming in, so we'll be able to provide those free haircuts as well. And it's expanding, like I say, more and more. And so we're also getting health supplies coming in. It's just a lot. And it's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
community event.
With the great help that y'all do, what do y'all often see in unhoused residents or people who are in need of, let's say, food insecure?
What do we
So,
normally see?
Yes, ma'am. What do you often see when people come in getting those services? What's the common story or common need?
Well, especially this past month or so with the government shutdown and the SNAP benefits not taking place, right? That was a huge need, which is why it was so perfectly aligned where we were able to receive those donations from God Chasers, right? Because that was a perfect timing. As the government shut down and as those SNAP benefits were cut off, then people needed money. They needed the food. And a lot of people even sent us videos of their refrigerators and their cabinets empty, like saying, hey, this is a real need that we have, and how can we get this? And I don't have a car. And so that's what she was saying, like, we delivered stuff to people as well. So the basic need is the food for right now, especially with the government shutdown, and then with the children needing the clothes for school shopping. So that was a huge benefit when back to school came about. So we were able to give out supplies and clothes in addition to the food and everything. So,
Sam, and beyond giving out people physical needs, you also provide spiritual support as well. I remember that y'all did a movie night, and then was even hearing people's testimonies and just letting them know that you're not alone in this situation. We're here for you. God's here for you. So tell me, how does that go into that as well? Do y'all provide mentorship, and then is there more that y'all do outside of giving out physical needs?
yeah, absolutely. So we have Bible study, of course, and then we also have a discipleship class. But the main thing that I want to point out is that everybody won't come into the church, right? So that's why we have a team that goes out to the shelter, to the park, to the areas downtown to minister to them right where they are. You know what I mean? It's not about reeling everybody into coming to the church, because we know that that's not a reality, right? So we go out to them and we meet them where they are. The Lord meets them where they are spiritually, So we pray out there, even on the streets. We evangelize and we're healing people. We're laying hands and Jesus is healing people. You know what I mean? But these are actual things that's taking place. And so to see the transformations and to see the testimonies, to hear the testimonies, to see people walking around healed, it's a beautiful thing,
Sam, when you're going around the area telling people about the great things that are going on, there's also friends in crisis and families in crisis around the area. Do y'all particularly have a partnership with them or work with them on certain days?
Yeah, we work with them every day, actually. So we're able to pick up the residents there and bring them to Bible study. So we actually go pick up people for not only Bible study, but for church services and for the Mayhem Days. We pick people up. So because everyone can't walk down, and some of them have the baskets, but some have so many bags that it's impossible for them to carry all the bags and attend the Mayhem to walk all the way down there. So we pick them up and bring them so they can still receive everything too. So yeah, we partner with Friends in Crisis, and in the future we plan to expand to families in crisis as well. Right now we've just been fulfilling that, and what we do is a wish list as well. So we go down to the shelter and down into the area and find out, what do people need, what is on your wish list, And you'd be surprised, but the community has been donating so much stuff and fulfilling these wish lists. And it's like Christmas all year round for, people getting these things fulfilled, these wishes fulfilled.
And I'm glad that you touched on that. I want to talk about the community aspect because outside you're talking about the wish list, which we spoke about outside of this interview, and you just tell me how people come in with donations already set. And then when it's time for events like a giveaway or even Kingdom Mayhem, there's always volunteers raised to work.
Yes, you
So-
want to speak on that part? Yeah. And I love this
Listen, I mean, it's amazing because, a lot of people that volunteer, they're unhoused. They don't have a house, they don't have a car, they don't have income, but they are coming like consistently and they want to come, like we like, okay, we done for the day. And they're like, okay, but when y'all giving it out, we want to be there to help, like because their needs are being met, they're ready to meet the needs of others. And, it's a common misconception that people want to be in that state, that people don't want anything from themselves. But the truth is, out of 5, 4 want something, they really want better. And so seeing them come and help, I mean, they have been the community serving the community. Yeah. Yeah.
And for people who do want to get involved with the community, what's that first step?
Well, I would say, one, you need to love people. Okay, that's step. We're gonna give that step 1. You need to like people. Okay, but if you want to get involved, with Dominion, you just reach out, and let us know. Hey, we want to help. We want to be a part of what it is that you're doing. We want to volunteer, hand out items. Then, from there we give you the information. But if it's something that you're looking to do on your own, I would say start where you at. Start with what you have. A lot of times we think we need it all to get started, but start with the little that you have, and God will increase it.
Yes, ma'am. And what do y'all see that outreach initiative, how do y'all see this benefiting in the long run?
Oh, wow. So I'm going to share a little bit into Tiara can have. So we're actually right now, we're hoping in this 2026 to we want to create a men's home. And so we're seeing such a need for the men, a lot of resources for the women, but there's a lack of resources for men. And so for 2026, we're focusing on building the men's home, getting that up, helping men that want to get off the streets, And so we're focused on that. And we're focused on, of course, expanding our reach through other regions where we have people that are part of Dominion that are located that want to be a part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And so I kind of forgot the question. I was so focused on listening to her.
It's all right. I was just asking what the long-term goal is for the outreach initiative.
Yeah, so the long term is to see more people off the streets, right? To see more people saved, healed, delivered, and living their lives like thriving, not just surviving. And right now I feel like a lot of people are just surviving or suffering in silence and having no idea where to start or how to change their lives, right? But you'd be surprised. Not everybody, the people there don't want to be there. Like Apostle was saying, like everyone, that's a common misconception that people want to be in that place and they want to in that place in life, and that they want to leech. But that's not the case. Situations happen in life where divorces, they lose someone, a family member, they lose a job or whatever the case may be, and then a hardship takes place and they find themselves there, but they still want better for themselves, right? And so we look forward to being able to help people, which we already have started helping people get Social Security cards, get their SNAP benefits when they were going, driver's license. 2 women have already gone into rehab from Dominion Services, and just getting that set up for them. And we've connected with people that write grants, so that's one of the main things that we just love to see transformation. And it's not just a one thing. Like there are many needs that need to be met, and so we're not a rehab facility yet. But in the future, that's something that we look to see, that people will be able to stay right there, get the rehab and the spiritual needs met. Yeah.
And that's a process. So can you tell me about some of the challenges that came along the way?
Yeah, well, initially finances, right? So the financial challenge that was already there. But like Apostle said, we started where we were. So even though we didn't have thousands of dollars to begin with, we started where we were, and we involved the community. So receiving the donations from the community was a huge jump to boost things off, to get everything started and stuff, like with the clothes and the shoes and stuff like that. So now we just look for donors, because people have a heart to help. They want to help. They just don't know where they should put their money. And so now seeing what we do and that it actually is going to good use, then people can donate. They can donate clothes like they have been doing, or anything, home goods as well, because as people leave the shelters, they get in their apartments or they get in their places and they're starting from scratch. So receiving home goods, furniture, and stuff like that is the next level that we plan to move to, which we've already started receiving home goods. So it's just a beautiful thing to see the community coming together too. So we thank all of the donors. We thank everyone who has donated or even sent funds in, so we can buy some of the things that are required too.
Sam, and I would give y'all flowers too, because one thing that y'all do that's really, really great, and I respect y'all so much for it, it's how y'all listen. Y'all stay so involved with what's going on, because everything that happens in the donations, it's so accurate to what the need is. Like how y'all said, the wish list going around. I even saw you, Miss Joseph, going to Green Avenue Park, talking to people, letting them know what's going on. Yeah. Y'all are focused and y'all know what's needed. And it's not, okay, let's just get this and then go from there. Y'all know exactly what it is, and everything is so precise to the point, which is great, because a lot of successful outreach initiatives, it's always, what do we need? What do we know? How can we execute? And y'all do it so perfectly. And as we're wrapping up, I just want to ask y'all, how do you see, well, I'm going to phrase this a little differently, actually. What would you like to say to the community for everything that's going on for unhoused residents, people who are food insecure, maybe starting to see tough times? What would be words of encouragement that you would like to tell them?
Well, I would just like to say that you are seen, you're heard, and a lot of times where people lose hope, then this hope is being increased in them. The faith is being increased in them as they see the hands and feet of Jesus in real life, to see that someone cares. So what I would say is that Dominion cares. We're here to help not just the local community, but in Central Texas as a whole, as of course, as the branches continue to move forward in San Antonio, like Apostle was speaking about, even in Houston. So this is bigger than just right here in Killeen, Texas. So, but the hope and the faith is there. And so there is a way out. There is a way to change your situation. There is a way to just break out of what society says that has to be placed. Regardless of the environment right now, there is change, and it's possible. And today, as I shared some of my testimony earlier, I am 19 months celibate and 16 months sober because of Dominion, and of course the Lord doing the work through Apostle and Dominion. You know what I mean? So it's just a beautiful thing to see transformation, and not only to see it, but to live it. And that's why I go out to do what I do, and that's why she does what she does, because of the transformation that we know that the Lord does and he has done on the inside of us. And so, yeah.
I would say, to the community, I know a lot of times when we think of church, we just think of being preached to, but there's a preach word even in taking care of people. And, we have a responsibility. I feel a responsibility and a burden to build people. We're not, if the building never gets fancy, it don't matter. As long as we build people and we see the love of God rising in them and hope restored, we've done what God has called us to do. Yeah.
And if people would like to get in contact with Dominion Mandate to receive service or volunteer, how would they be able to contact y'all?
Well, if you want to contact us, you can reach out to us, of course, via social media. We are on Facebook, we on TikTok, we on Instagram, so you can reach out to us there. You can also reach out to evangelist Tiara Joseph, and I'll let her give you that information.
Yeah, so definitely inbox us on Dominion Mandate Global Hub. That's on Facebook and all of the other social media avenues, as she said. And my personal page is Tiara Joseph. You can find me on the facebook.com/TiaraTJ. That's the quickest way to get in touch with me. We also have an email address if you don't have social media, so you can email us at Dominion Global Hubs, HUBS, @gmail.com.
Absolutely.
And you can always come down to the church, sir, and see the building for yourself. There's a picture, information, but we have 300 North 8th Street, Suite 101. That's in Killeen, Texas, 76541. And just reach out to us.
Alrighty. Thank y'all so much for watching today. Once again, this is Apostle Janice Watts and the evangelist and director of outreach, Tiara Joseph. Hope y'all have a good one.